Good morning from Restituto Farms. It is an absolutely beautiful 48-degree weather Friday morning in here in the greenhouse. We got a couple things on the agenda for today. We are going to be planting some carrots. We're going to be planting a little bit more lettuce. We're going to be potentially moving some lettuce in the ground and planting a couple different we're going to take it from there. See what we got going on in the greenhouse and also out in the garden today. Very grateful for that everything's going well in the garden. A couple things, kind of going awry here and there. I lost some onions, unfortunately, but I planted new ones yesterday. Hopefully, it's not too late in the season for them. But we'll see what happens. So let's get planting. I want to plant a couple of butterhead bib lettuces, because we had a couple random days last week where it was wildly hot. Here it is, we're in New York in April, and we had some days where it was above 80 degrees, which is that's like July weather for us. And lettuce and stuff like that do not like the heat, so they started actually going to seed, which is called bolting, and they don't like that. So it changes the flavor of the food, and so I have to actually almost start over from a couple of them. I still have them down there. They're not dead, but they're not as good as they could be. So that being said, I kind of want to rejuvenate my lettuce supply, and hopefully kind of try to keep it as much as I can for the summer. We'll see what ends up happening, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So this is gonna be butterhead bib lettuce. I think do I want two of them? How much lettuce? We eat a lot of lettuce. No, I think one's enough. One's enough. We'll do one. Let's put this guy back. Another tray of butterhead bib lettuce. Okay. Now let's do black seeded Stimson lettuce. It's a different type of lettuce. Different variety. You'd be surprised how much lettuce you need to maintain the supply of a salad going on. Alright, putting 2 seeds in each in case one doesn't germinate, but you could also separate them. I don't find that they do too terribly if you try and separate them, so we'll do that if they both germinate. Okay, perfect. Black seeded Simpson, like the TV show. Black seeded Simpson. Let's see. Do I have all my titles over here. Let's see if I need to make a new one. We need butterhead bib lettuce, which actually we have right here. We'll just stick this guy over here. Steal it from another one that's already established. Black seeded Simpson. Do I have that? We're just gonna call it lettuce. That's what we're gonna do. This way we can reuse it in the future. Lettuce. Bam. Okay. I'm gonna push these guys down a little bit into the soil. Then we're going to top it off with a little bit of soil. Cover these guys up. Okay, that's the black seeded Simpson. Next we got, put these over here. Next we have the butterhead bib. Gonna push these guys down a little bit. Cover these guys up. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Very nice. All right, next we Take a couple more trays. Fill these guys up. Oh, I got, look at this. I forgot that I'd had to plant these. These are cantaloupes right here. I'm gonna plant some cantaloupe. I'm only gonna do a four tray of these because cantaloupes, things like cantaloupes or squash. What in the world? That's wild. This is literally an empty seed pack. There's no seeds in here. I mean, it was only 25 cents, but that's hysterical. That's so funny. Okay. Well, no cantaloupe today. That's hysterical. Okay, what's next? What do we want to do? I'm going to plant a couple extra. I guess we'll plant some carrots still in here, and we're going to plant them outside as well. We'll do both. So there's something called direct sowing, which is when you directly plant right into the ground, and it saves a lot of time. But I feel like you don't have as much control over it. It's also hard to manage with like weeds and stuff. Like, you know, the seedlings are tiny, and when you're trying to pull out weeds that are like competing with them, you can easily pull out the seedling or disturb the roots. So I prefer starting in these pots or these little like cells and then transplanting outside, but it does save a lot of time. So I'm going to do both. It also gives you a little bit more control in where you want to plant them, in the sense of like, okay, I can direct sow where I want to plant them, and then I can also sow right here. And then in the future, I could say, oh, I have more space here, or I have more space there, and I can decide where I want to put these in the future. So we're going to do 2 trays of carrots in here, and then we're going to direct sow a bunch outside. Okay. I'm also thinking we're going to transplant some Swiss chard. We got a good amount going in here still. And one thing I'm debating is, like, I have a bunch of things growing in these little grow bags over here, and they're doing well, but I'm wondering if they would do better in the ground. So for example, like, you know, this lettuce right here, or, you know, this lettuce. I wonder if they would, look at this mushroom, that's funny. I wonder if they'd be doing better in the ground, just because there's more natural nutrients in the ground. I don't know the answer to that, and I'd be kind of curious to know how that works, but I don't know. Let's throw some carrots in. So carrots you can actually multi-sow, where you could actually put a couple in each cell, and they do pretty well together. They'll kind of just grow apart. I've heard a couple different things. You could do that, or you're supposed to do one at a time. I don't know. Gardening is kind of like politics, where everybody has like their own opinion, and they believe what they believe is right. So who knows? But I've seen a couple different things, but I like multi-sowing. It saves space, it saves time. Just gonna cover these guys up now. A little bit of dirt. Get rid of this rock. This dirt is pretty thick right here. Let's actually take some of the dirt from over here. Cover this guy up. Alright, carrots right there. Let's sprinkle, let's do some more yellow carrots. These are yellow carrots we're doing. Both were yellow carrots now. Then we're going to go to the front yard and direct seed some carrots. Carrots can take a long time to germinate, though. They're an interesting vegetable, because they take somewhere between 2 to 3 weeks to actually sprout up from the ground. It's pretty wild. But it's a pretty satisfying thing to eat your own carrots, let me tell you. I mean, for dinner last night I had my own carrots. We got some carrots growing over here, you can see. These are carrots. These guys are looking really good. So, got a couple of these over here. Some smaller ones over here. I got another bigger bag over there. It's fun, man. I love it. I love this stuff, man. I love it. All right, let's cover these guys up. Okay. So these are carrots. I don't know what we're gonna label them with, to be honest. We've officially run out of labels, so I'm kind of like reusing labels now. Alright, I'll just take this. I'll just take this. Next year, maybe I only write on one side, and this way, like, I could reuse the other side. I definitely have carrot labels. I just don't know where they are, which is funny. All right, these guys are all planted now. Beautiful. Let's throw these over here. Where are we gonna put these guys? I guess we'll put them over here. Perfect. It's looking good, baby. Looking good. All right, so now going over here on this side of the garden, I have some butterhead bib lettuce that I want to transplant into here. We started it from seed. We've up-potted it a little bit. Now we're, I think that it could do well in this sunny area right here. So we're gonna just take out some of these other plants. Try to clean this up a little bit, and throw these guys in. Let's clean this up. Come on. I should probably use a bigger shovel for this, but I can't grab one. So, come on. There we go. What's funny is yesterday was my 1 year anniversary with starting my garden. Literally a year ago, planted my first seeds. Pretty crazy how things can change in a year. I mean, not only with the garden, but now I have a baby being due in a couple weeks. Or a couple weeks. What am I talking about? Sometime in the next week or two, we will be having a baby, which is exciting. Pretty wild, man. It's a blessing. It took a while too. It took me and my wife 2 years to get pregnant, so it's a genuine, literal miracle. Alright, cool. Made some space. Move these guys over and get rid of this little thing. Okay. Looking good, looking good. Clean out this little guy right here. Oh, weeds. Okay. Nice and clean. Let's transplant these guys. Put one right here, one right here, and one right here. Take them out from this right here. Separate them a little bit. I'm actually gonna throw a little bone meal in there. Bone meal is very high in nitrogen, which promotes leaf growth. So we're gonna plant this guy right here. This is very clay-like soil, but I actually just put a bunch of topsoil down recently. Because it was uneven, so to even it out, so it actually loosens the clay soil up a bunch, which is very nice. So let's see how these guys end up doing. It's funny, plants are funny because when you up pot them, meaning like just put them in a bigger environment so they can thrive, they actually typically can do two things. One, they might have a little bit of something called transplant shock. Which is when you transplant them, they wilt a little for a day or two because they're not used to the new environment. But after that, they actually bounce up really quickly and tend to do really well. It's like, oh hey, we have so much new space, and they really seem to enjoy the freedom, which is funny. So now we got one or two more we're gonna up pot right here. Perfect. Separate these two guys. put one more right here. Take a little bit of bone meal. This is actually, oh, I'm sorry, this is blood meal. I don't know if I said bone meal before, but this is blood meal. It literally comes from the meat industry. It's a byproduct of the meat industry. I'm not entirely sure what they do with it, but somehow take the blood of the animals they're butchering, and I don't know, you turn it into some sort of fertilizer. But there's also something called bone meal, which comes from the bones of the animals. Again, a product of the meat industry. And that is higher in phosphorus, NPK. Yeah, the phosphorus. Okay, cool. So we just planted five of those guys. All right. Let's. I'm gonna go grab some Swiss chard, and I'll be right back. All right. So here you can see I've now gotten some Swiss chard and some kale. I'm gonna be planting this right here. Just trying to take as much use of the land that I have. Hi, buddy. Hi, good morning. Good morning. Alright, let's plant these guys. You know what the benefit of filling... Look at that, some roots over here. The benefit of filling your garden with vegetables or like plants and stuff, it actually helps mitigate roots. I'm sorry, mitigate weeds. Wow, this is very clay. Okay, so now let's throw some blood meal down. Actually, you know what? I feel like we could do one more back here. So let's make a little bit of room right here. There we go. Let's put you right here. Perfect. Perfect. Got a big rock right there. Okay. Alright, we're going to put the big ones in front. I can actually try to save the wow, yeah, these guys are seriously rooted. Save the dirt. Let's see if we can split this. There's a smaller one in here. Alright, there's the smaller one. Okay. This guy, I need a bigger hole for this guy. Okay. Here we go. Plant this guy right there. This guy's looking very good. Very nice. Okay. Looks great. This guy looks very good. Very healthy Swiss chard. Cool. Just tighten it up, stand that guy out. Why is this guy falling over? There we go. That looks good. Oh, we got another one right here. Let's take a nice hole. There we go. Okay. Very nice. Throw a little more blood meal in. Feed the plant. Okay. Let's take this guy out. Look at the roots. The roots are even pink. That's pretty cool. Save a little bit of that soil. Soil's expensive, man. Soil's honestly probably my biggest expense. So try to save it as much as I can. Okay. Get this guy in there. Amazing. Perfect. Perfect. So this is a slightly shaded area, so a lot of leafy greens don't mind shaded areas, just because I've heard that if you're growing for the root or the fruit, it wants full sun, and it wants more phosphorus. But if you're growing for the leaves or the greens, then you can get away with one, giving it more nitrogen, and two, it doesn't mind the shade as much. See, look at that, all that soil we just saved. Very nice. Okay, now put this guy in, the smaller one. Right there, perfect. Looking good. Do we have one more? I think we have one more, but let's transfer these guys now. These are, let's actually put these separate. Let's dig new holes right here. See, look, now a new pot that I can pot something in full of soil. Okay. Let's mix this guy up with some fresher soil. Alright. Nice. We'll do 2 holes right here. Nice. Take some of this looser soil. Very clay. Okay, cool. There's 3 plants in here, so we're going to split this guy up. Try to save some dirt. Oh, this guy's caked together. Okay, here's one. This dirt is tough dirt. Been in this pot for a while. Okay, here's one. I'm gonna put you right here. Oh, grab a little blood meat first. A little plant food. Little plant food. Okay. Put you right here. Just need to soil up and put you right in. Okay, cool. Looking good. Looking good. Looking very good, actually. Okay, now we're going to take this guy. And we're going to do the same thing. Try to separate these two. See if that's possible. So we got 2 together right here. There. Very close. See, if you wet these, they'd actually pull apart even nicer, but just going to gently try and make them. Look at all the dirt we just saved too. Alright, this guy's going to go right here. Fill this in. This is a kale right here, planting now. So we just planted butterhead bib lettuce, kale, and Swiss. Oh shoot, my bad. We got the Swiss chard over here that I just hit with the thing. So let's throw this guy in right here. Hopefully that guy does it right. Alright, throw some of the soil around it. Okay, it's a little baby Swiss chard. Okay. It's good to have these pots free again. Oh, I got snot coming everywhere. Okay. Let's do another hole. Throw him right here. Perfect. Okay. Break up this clay soil. Take a little blood meal. Throw it in, mix it in. And take a little more. Perfect. Plant this guy right in. Alright. Look at that. Planted 3 kales, 4 Swiss chards, 5 butterhead bib lettuces. Everything's looking good. Well, I feel like it's kind of slightly uneven, like this should be moved over a little bit, but let's see if we can move this over. There we go. A little better. Whatever, it's fine. Alright, very nice. Very nice. Alright, look at all the dirt we just saved. Very nice. Let's bring this back to the greenhouse. Turns out we actually got one more, so we're gonna take this guy, plant him right here. Hey, you stay right there. I don't want you stepping on my plants, dude. Plant you right there. Alright. Beautiful. We're gonna take our shovel, clean out this section right here. serious root. Serious rocks over here too. Wow. Come on. I'm trying to break this root. Not want to be broken. Alright, whatever. Okay. Clean that up a bit. Clean this up, loosen the soil a bit. I want to plant some spinach right here. Okay. All right. I'm gonna put a little bit of. Actually, no, we're not. We're just gonna take it like it is. Put it right in. I was gonna amend it with some extra soil, but this is fine. Just loosen this up a little so I can get the nutrients it needs. Alright, so that's nice and loose. I'm gonna put some spinach in right here. So we got these guys growing over here. I got one more actually too. But we're gonna grab the blood meal. Just kind of amend the soil with some blood meal. Some extra food. Work this in a little bit. Perfect. Looking good. Looking good. Okay, let's put this in. We need a little sugar. Here it is. Perfect. Dig this guy out from here. Perfect. Put this right here. Beautiful, look at that. Take this guy, dig it out right here. Look at that, beautiful. Beautiful. Look at this spinach. This guy's looking good. Okay, let's go grab that extra spinach that we had. Here's the other spinach. Two back here. It's a little bit of a tiny spinach, but it's alright. Let's fill this back up. Alright. Looking good. Looking good. Let's fill this up. Okay. Fill this up. Look at that. Looking good. Very nice. Alright. Give these guys a water later. Not bad, not bad. Cool. Alright, so in conclusion, off camera, the lighting wasn't right, so I didn't film it, but I ended up planting two huge kale plants and putting those in the ground. And then I sowed about 8 rows of carrots, 3 being maybe this long, 3 rows like that, and then another 5 maybe like this long of carrots. So direct sowing, again, I don't love that because you're battling the weeds and stuff, and the elements is less control, but it saves time in the end. So that concludes today's gardening with Jacob.